Is game number one of a Monday Night Football doubleheader, and it brings us action in the AFC East. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens, Florida. An AFC East battle between Justin Fields' 2-1 New York Jets and Tua Tagovailoa's 0-3 Miami Dolphins. Start first with the Jets. This team has had some ups and downs this year, and recently a scare in training camp. Right now, though, they feel like Justin Fields should be A-okay to get going. And they have a 2-1 record currently, their only loss of the season at the hands of the undefeated Buffalo Bills. So not feeling too bad about their circumstances right now. As for the Dolphins, they could not be in a worse state. The only left team to not have a victory. They lost a really ugly game in week 2 against the Patriots, or they had at least a game-tying field goal. Tagovailoa fumbled it away, ended up losing that one. And they just flat out have not looked good offensively or defensively. Can they turn it around here on primetime under the bright lights? We'll find out as we're underway from Hard Rock Stadium. Jets will begin on the offensive end. Return taken from the 4-yard line up to the 27. As we welcome everybody joining me here today, Sean Zeller, SM, Flash Gordon, everybody else joining me throughout. Lewis, close enough. Close enough. Oh, I never even put the link in the Discord. I was wondering why I was so quiet in here. Jets will get the day started on the offensive end. Dolphins bringing pressure, not going to work out. Garrett Wilson picks up 10. Opening play strike for the New York Football Jets as we meet their offense for the 2025 season. Justin Fields at QB1 this year. Tyrod Taylor backing him up. Breece Hall, Raylan Allen in the backfield. Garrett Wilson, Allen Lazard, Josh Reynolds at wide receiver. Mason Taylor, the rookie, and Jeremy Ruckert at the tight end positions. Here goes Fields on the handoff to Breece Hall, and he's got some good blocking there from Garrett Wilson, and a 12-yard pickup. Jets off to a hot start here on the offensive end. What up, Chili? What up, Santorio? And what up, Silver Knight? Jets are trying to ride the hot hand, go stride for stride with the top dogs in the AFC East. Dolphins have got some catching up to do. Every team but them have a winning record in their division. Here goes Fields from under center. We'll fire this one across the middle again. That is hauled in. And a 7-yard pickup. First non-first down play. It's Josh Reynolds as we meet the Dolphin defense for today. Matt Dickerson, Zach Sealer, Kenneth Grant, Jordan Phillips at the defensive line. Jalen Phillips, Tyrell Dodson, Jordan Brooks, Bradley Chubb at linebacker. Storm Duck, Gator Kohu, Jack Jones at corner. Melifonwu and Minka Fitzpatrick back in town for the Miami defense. There is Wilson again, who breaks the tackle and will head down the sideline. Another big gainer for the Ohio State Buckeye. That one goes for 22. 2 movies in one day? Hey, you're about to get 3 because we got a doubleheader. You just never know. What up, JJJ? New York looking flawless here on their opening possession. Fields on the outside, hand off to Breece Hall, hits the edge, and he will find his way inside the 5. 20-yard pickup that time. Nearly called that one to perfection. Santorio almost had it. Ty Felton Lover mentioned. You'll love to see it. Goal to go now for New York. Dolphins are yet to even force a third down of this possession as Fields going to roll left, step up, and complete the possession. What a start for New York. How about that? What up, Amari? Bad time for you to show up, not going to lie. Jets strike first. Terrific opening possession there for number 7 as the Buckeye connection got it going. Breece Hall also in on the mix. What Buddy doesn't know is that they are the only team yet to win a game this season. Looking to break that curse as once again, Mike McDaniel breaking through his quarter zip. He originated that fashion all the way back in week 1. Extra point coming up, and it is good. Jets lead 7-0. 6 plays, 74 yards, 2.5-minute drive to open this one up. Rig the Sim, believe me, you're not the first person to ask me to do that. I've been offered a lot of money to do just that. Need preseason now? We are so close, man. Hey, this week, Thursday, the preseason is upon us. Didn't know Jets crashed in Miami. Hey, they crash everywhere. I still find it very ironic and not in a very comedic sense that they're called the New York Jets, but hey, don't bat an eye too hard. Dolphins on the return here. Special teams gets them out to the 30. That is where Tua Tagovailoa will take over and look to clean up his 2025 season. Only put up 10 points week 1 against Indianapolis. Had a lot of offense produced against the Patriots, but it all fell short when it mattered most. And last week continued in their losing ways. Have not played since Thursday night against Buffalo. Went stride for stride with the Bills in the opening half, but were pulled away from in the second 20. Handoff down the middle, and not off to a hot start here. 3-yard loss on the opening play. Devon Achane goes the wrong direction. As we meet the Dolphin offense, Tagovailoa at quarterback, Achane right in the backfield. Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Nick Westbrook, and Keenan at wide receiver. Darren Waller back from retirement, and Julian Hill is his backup. Second and 13, Tagovailoa going to look to fire the football first time, and they'll find Tyreek Hill, gain of 10. What up, Games? And we'll meet the Jet defense now. Will McDonald, Jermaine Johnson, Derek Gennady, Quentin Williams on the defensive line, Jermaine Davis, Jimmy Sherwood, Quincy Williams at linebacker, Sauce Gardner, Brandon Stevens, Michael Carter at corner, Tony Adams and Andre Sisco at the safety positions. 2-1 now. Well, step and fire near sideline. Pass is caught, but not for enough. It is 4th down. Matthew Mario in the house. How's it going, my friend? Game is supposed to be a part of the rivalry game the NFL is playing. I did see that a couple weeks ago. Or maybe it was last week. Something similar. I know Seattle has like 3 or 4 games. I don't know why they're featured in so many. Punt coming up here for Ryan Stonehouse, the former Titan. And he gets his full foot through this one. Terrific kick. Returned to the 17. Jets will take over. 6:14 left to go. Not a good start for the Pick'em home. Speaking of Pick'em, the breakdown for Game 1 of our Monday Night Football doubleheader. Jets have 17 votes to the Dolphins 14. And a good time to remind you to get your Week 5 Pick'em in. Top 13 will qualify for the MSG Fantasy League. And obviously, if you go unbeaten, you still get that jersey of your choice. And this is the week to do it. There are 4 teams on a bye, so only 14 games. Your odds are better. Jets taking over at their own 17. Justin Fields going to hand right back off to Breece Hall. Good patience there. Nothing arises, though, past a 4-yard pickup. Where does Miami turn after this season? Got to imagine Mike McDaniel likely on the hot seat. Just a team that is in the mix every year, and whether they make the playoffs or not, they make no headway if they get there. Skylar Thompson had to play in a playoff game a couple of years ago, and obviously that wasn't pretty. Here goes Fields off the play action, finds his rookie tight end Mason Taylor, and he will pick up 27. What up, GDS? May not get another Bear game. I'm getting Week 6, I promise. I assure you that. But yeah, it's the Bears, Falcons, Packers, and Steelers all on a bye in Week 5. But yeah, Week 6, I'm doing a lot of doubleheaders. Got that planned out. Midway through the opening quarter, it has been all Jets thus far. Dolphins try to turn that around. 3-yard pickup that time. On the rush for Breece Hall. Jets BTA, it might be in store. I hope this game can at least be entertaining. Dolphins don't always lose in blowout fashion. At least they battle. Got to give them credit there. Also got to credit the fans for still showing up today. Handoff goes to Hall again. Second consecutive. This one goes for 3 as well. We'll make it a manageable 3rd and 4 from the Miami 47-yard line. Meanwhile, the Jets, though, not sure life could be better. If your only loss is against a team without a loss, you are just about as good as the top dogs in the NFL. And they kept it close as well. 1-score loss against Buffalo. In a win over the Steelers, they are feeling pretty confident. As Fields on a 3rd and 4, checks it down complete. Alan Lazard with his opening catch. What up, Trey? How about those Bears, baby? Game winner again. Crazy. That game was wild. Yeah, you think after all the games the Bears have had this year that have all ended in crazy fashion in the 4th quarter, I'm not streaming another one? Come on now. We had to bring it back. Jets going to go run heavy again. There goes Breece Hall. Tries to get the outside. And a good tackle made there. Jordan Brooks, the former Seahawk, is the first one there. Jalen Phillips in on the mix as well. Run it back. We have to, man. Cannot help but to do it. Who do they play in week 6? I actually forget. I looked last night, but I already do not remember. Jets should be right around field goal range. However, they have no interest in settling as the handoff goes to Hall again. He high steps one tackle, and he'll end up losing one as a result. Should have just taken what he had. You know, sometimes Madden gives forward progress, sometimes they don't. Not feeling generous that time around. Stewie Drewy, welcome back. Glad to have you here as well. Commanders, oh yeah. Oh, you know how much of a channel classic that matchup is? I wish you guys knew. If you weren't here in 2022, you got to go back and watch that game. Fields from an empty pocket on 3rd and 10. Miami going to rush 4. Fields steps to his right, and he's sacked by Jalen Phillips. Dolphins get home for the first time this evening. It's been like the Bears. I don't see a team they like more. I mean, you're allowed to say that, like, maybe they like the Bills or the Eagles more, but I think the talent resembles their record. Whereas the Bears, I'm not so sure they should have beaten the Lions, if I got to be honest. But whatever. Austin McNamara on for the punt. His first of the day. It's a good one. Angling out of bounds at the 17. I thought it would be a little bit better. Not as good as I had originally began to thought. 29-yard punt, though, does pin the Dolphins inside of the 20. Little depressed when Panthers lost to the Patriots the way they did. Me too, man. Yeah, I think, you know what, I talked about week 3 being crazy. Week 4 has a battle of its own. I think we've had some of the best football simulation-wise. Despite Madden 25 inherently being a bad game, it's been terrific entertainment week in and week out. What up, Leon Trey? Miami going to try to tie this game up on their second possession as Tagovailoa being flushed had to force that one incomplete. Jets pass rush is doing very good today. And they did last week as well in their week 3 victory. I don't know why I can't remember who they beat off the top of my head right now. I'm going to be like, oh yeah, when I go back and look. Tampa, that's right. Completely forgot about that. They ended the Buccaneers' undefeated season with a road victory there, and then they head a little bit to the east to Miami. Handoff goes outside to Devon Achane, and the first Dolphin first down. At least I think that's east. I don't know, Florida. Tampa to Miami. Let's see if my directional... Yeah, you know what? It's southeast. Close enough. I'll take it. A win's a win. Dolphins get their first down 8 minutes into the contest. Tagovailoa going to try to keep this momentum rolling. Ball up now to the 30. Touch pass goes to the speedy one, Tyreek Hill, who got a good block out in front, and he's across the 50. 23-yard pickup. And I'm not going to lie, that looks like a blatant hold on Jalen Waddle. That was very, very bad. We'll take a second look here. Hopefully they get back to the point of action. They will not, unfortunately. Yeah, Tyreek did very well there, but there's a block from the opposite side. I don't know. Sauce Gardner just rolled the wrong way. And it cost the Jet defense a first down again. As they blitz a couple extra, Tagovailoa finds Hill again. Catch number 3 for Tyreek, and good things happen when number 10 is involved. You learn that very quickly. Madden 25 doesn't compare to College 26. College 25 is inherently 10 times better than 26. 26 has been rough, man. Was on there earlier. It is what it is, though. Final minute of the opening quarter. Tagovailoa gets the Dolphins into a scoring position. Off the play action, he goes outside for a loss of 4. Not a very good heads-up play there. I don't like... See, another issue I have with, I guess, it's just this Madden. Like, why even catch the ball there? What's the heads up? I mean, online it's rough too, but even offline it's tough. 4-yard loss there on the catch. And run for very little. Handoff is going back to Devon Achane. Following blockers and a couple of Jets behind him. Trailing a few strides behind. They will make the tackle, but not before a 7-yard pickup in the end of the opening quarter. Quick first 10 from Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens, Florida. It's the Jets 7, the Dolphins nothing after 1. Dynasty, RTG, everything. I mean, it is... There's a lot of options, but again, It's just a reskin. Opening play of the second quarter is a Dolphin 3rd and 7. Songo by Loa, stepping up in the pocket, had to avoid one sack, and stepped right into another. Jets get him down again on a 3rd and long. And Tua wanted a helmet-to-helmet call there. Not going to get it. What up, Josiah Hernandez? Jets force the Dolphins in the wrong direction. And that brings on another Ryan Stonehouse punt, as he will kick this away from the 50-yard line, out of bounds at the 21. A 19-yard punt that time, as the Jets offense will reclaim the field. Let me check real quick here, Trey. Yeah, Pick'em is coming down to the wire. There are a lot of very good records. You guys did a tremendous job this week. Hopefully you carry that momentum into the fantasy week. You have the Dolphins tonight. Field's going to take over from the I formation. Handoff goes to Brees Hall, picks up 8 on the first play of the 3rd drive. What up, David Exley? Roster is up to date, as an injury to an offensive lineman. Thought for a second there, wasn't paying attention. That was Brees Hall. That would have been devastating. Not the case here, though. But yeah, we got everything. We got Minka back on the Dolphins, Jack Jones, and, why can't I think of his name? Mike Hilton on the secondary of Miami as well. Jets are all good to go, with Justin Fields avoiding that injury scare a couple of days ago. Handoff goes to Hall, another first down converted. Miami's starting to get chipped away on. Well, we will take a look into these two teams' futures real quick. I want to see what they have coming up after this snap. I'm curious to see what the Dolphins have in routes. Giving up even more ground there with a first down. Brees Hall been the go-to guy this possession. That trend continues. He will grind his legs forward and pick up 4. 10 carries already. Dolphins take on the Carolina Panthers next week and then head back here to take on the Chargers in week number 6. To go to the Jets fan, welcome. Glad you could tune in watching your team play here today. Brees Hall takes his 10th carry for 4 yards. Here goes Fields now taking some pressure under his pocket. Downfield pass, and what a ball! Tight window. Garrett Wilson comes down with it. Might just be the throw of the year for the New York Jets, rolling to his weak side. How in the world did he find a gap? Thing of absolute beauty. That's wild. Appreciate you, David. That is crazy. Over double coverage, too, yeah. About as good as coverage gets, and that wasn't even that good of a catch either. Just a perfectly placed football. Handoff goes to Hall again, tries to get outside, and there he is. Minka Fitzpatrick finally has himself a notable play. Apparently, he's already had 4 tackles, beyond my knowledge. Nonetheless, makes a big one there. 2nd and 9. Fields will still be a Bear? True. Poor guy. Hall picks up just a yard. His production going down as we have a marker. And we will see who this is against. Early signs points in Miami, and it is. So right after they can't help themselves. Last team without a win in the entire league. Indianapolis suffers their first loss of the year. 5-man rush coming late. Field steps to his right, looking to take off and not going to get there. Short by about a half yard. Into something. And that sets up another Jet 3rd down. Time for an interception for the defense, so we'll see. Stream is tweaking right now, can't lie. Half a yard away from the conversion. Jets going to opt for the single back, and the handoff goes to Hall. Easy conversion as he breaks a couple of tackles en route to the 29-yard line. Shaquille Fields to get Marvin Harrison Jr., that'd be fire. That would have been a nasty move. Once again, though, this quarter going by just as fast as the opening 10 minutes did. Hall gets another handoff, and this is most of the reason why. Hits the outside. A gain of 11. I like it. Yeah, I mean, you can play the hypothetical game as much as you want. I mean, if the Browns didn't trade for Deshaun Watson, give up all those picks, we could have had Baker Mayfield and Garrett Wilson and Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. That would have been disgusting, but it is what it is. Jets back inside the Dolphin red zone. Trying to make it 2 for 2 in a red zone efficiency. Pass down the middle, tightly contested again. And Fields finds the 100-yard passing mark on the evening. Yeah, not a lot of incompletions here. Not gonna lie. I still feel like Fields is the, better version of Anthony Richardson. I feel like his ceiling's a lot taller. And not taller. Its ceiling's lower, floor is higher. 4-yard check down there. Justin Fields finds his 100th passing yard. And he'll add to it here. Down the middle, it's Allen Lazard. He'll make it 1st and goal. We should all be GMs. You know, I had a very real conversation in my AFC North group chat that I've been in since 2020 about buying the Denver Broncos. It's been a real thought. Never got past that thought, though. Fields from under center on a 1st and goal. Steps to his right, looks to escape a sack, and he walks right into one. Dolphins get home again. Loss of 9. Kenneth Grant makes a terrific play. Fields saw Allen Davis. Yeah, it's a nasty offense, man. More talent than New England? Yeah, maybe. I think they have more potential. Can they just exercise it? I don't know. Rookie gets on there on a big play. Extra pressure coming up the middle, and it works out a 2-yard loss on the handoff. Jordan Brooks again, making his presence felt. 3rd and goal. Defense is starting to fire at will. Standing up for themselves here. 3rd and goal way back at the 18-yard line. Fields looking for a miracle as he lofts one back corner way out of bounds, incomplete. Had to fire an incompletion with the pocket breaking down around him. And a good stop for this Dolphin defense. How are we losing at home even in a video game? Y'all are even a higher overall. I'm giving you all the help I can. Not even my roster, but it is what it is. Jets on for a 35-yarder. Giving them a 2-score lead. It is up and good. 10-0. Advantage. 3 minutes, 35 seconds to go in the second. Well, there is that. So don't forget to stick around for halftime and get the live poll coming at you here. Should have some favorability in favor of the Jets. However, Dolphins get the ball to receive in half number 2. So a score here could lead to a double dip. That could go a long way in rebounding not just the game, but the season as they look to escape the purgatory of 0-4. They will take a return from inside the 5 out to the 25 again. 3:32 to go. Tua Tagovailoa stepping back out onto the pitch. Calm fall evening on a Monday night in Miami Gardens. Bright lights with the open roof. No better setting than Florida football on a brisk evening. Dolphins going to have to go 75 yards if they want the end zone, and about 45 if they want points at all. Tagovailoa back to business here. Man in motion behind him, that is Jalen Waddle. As Tua steps into a pass, fires down the field. One-handed catch as Waddle almost kept his footing down at the 41. Had no reason to catch that with one arm, just did it. Forgets and shiggles. Take a look at the replay. Yep. What up, more Rob got? We started with the Jets, Justin? Yes, yeah, he's more than okay. I've kept up with the reports. Avoided a very scary injury, I've been told. But he is more than all right there. Jets fortunate again. Almost pulled another Zach Wilson as he got hurt in the preseason a couple of years ago. Tagovailoa going to look deep once again to the end zone. Knocked away, incomplete, as he takes another shot at Tyreek Hill. Brandon Stevens, though, half a stride behind him. Just it up there is Darren Waller. Yet to see him catch a football today. He is rated highly. Dolphins gave up a draft pick for a retired player. You don't see that every day. Giants still had the rights to him from when he retired from their franchise a couple of years back. Handoff goes to Achane, weaves again. 6-yard pickup. Jalen Waddle touchdown. Ooh, we'll see. The Penguin, I love it. You know he hits that celebration every time he scores. I don't think EA even allows him to think twice. It is embedded in his brain. Could be a 4-down situation here for this Miami offense. Hoping it doesn't come down to it, though. Tagovailoa goes across the middle, though it is incomplete. Looking for Malik Washington. And that brings up a decision to be made here right before the 2-minute warning. Charles Thomas in the building. How we doing, my friend? Looking forward to the trivia question of the evening. Field goal unit is on. Jason Sanders, 52-yard attempt. Looking to get the Dolphins on the board in week number 4. Kick is on the way, and it is good. So Miami back within a possession. Always getting sketched out now with these field goals. The Blake Grupe curse lives deep into my brain. That Bills Saints game was something else, man. If he made that field goal, then the pass interference and the 2-point conversion would have tied the game. We would have gone to overtime in the most ridiculous fashion possibly ever in a Madden simulation. Jets will return from the 3-yard line. 2-minute drill time for Justin Fields. Shea F7 goes to work. Need an interception for the Dolphins? We might be due. Finally broke our turnoverless streak. Shout out to Jordan Love. Always good for an interception. If nobody got me, I know Jordan Love's right arm for an interception does. Can I get an amen? Jets lead is cut down to a touchdown. 2-minute drill time for Justin Fields. The handoff goes to Hall up the middle. Quick feet. Finds some 6 yards, and we hit the 2-minute warning. Jets 10, Dolphins 3. 2 to go in the first half. That was kind of tame, actually. Wild, but tame. After the 2-minute warning, Justin Fields facing a 4-man rush again. Well protected, low and incomplete, simply misfired. Mechanical breakdown in the arm of Justin Fields. Yeah, John Zeller was going crazy. He had like a $10 dono, which kind of summoned the boost of Caleb to get the Bears another ridiculous win. Seems like every time they touch a football field, the game comes down to the final minute. Here goes Fields on a deep drop back. That's a first down strike to Josh Reynolds. His first catch since the opening possession. Former Detroit Lion. What up, Levi? All scared of Arturo? True. I kind of hoped he had left at that point, not going to lie. I felt terrible for the guy. Is what it is, though. 2 backs in the backfield here, as Justin Fields has all day to pick out an open man, which he does. It's another Jet first down. It's Josh Reynolds again across the 45. Is what it is. Time still ticking, though. Jets got to be cognizant of what remains on the game clock. Hanging on to all of their 3 timeouts still. Fields dropping back deep. Heaving this one down the right sideline. Catch is made. End zone found. Josh Reynolds again. Jets take his 2-score lead right before halftime. What a pass. The former Lion starting to feast on some Miami Dolphin defense. Left out in open space, and he takes advantage with a deep touchdown. What up, Bjorn? That was one heck of a ball from Justin Fields. Dolphins are cooked. I do feel bad. We have a lot of Dolphin fans, actually. You'd be surprised. But it's not working out for them. Not this season. They used to be a very highly respected team in previous Maddens. Just not this year. Extra point is up, and it is good. Jets lead by 14, largest of the week. Dolphins, though, have faced deficits larger than this. Obviously, they are yet to come back from one, as they have yet to win a game. However, Tagovailoa still has just under a minute to go, and all 3 of his timeouts, as the Miami offense has only looked sharper as the game has gone on. Got 19 people in here for game one of our 2-game Monday Night Football doubleheader on a Sunday night. Drop a like down below if you have not yet already. And let me know who is excited for the Broncos and Bengals. Should be an absolute shootout from Paul Brown Stadium, now Paycor Stadium, as the Dolphins return out to the 28-yard line. I really wish every stadium was named after a former coach, player, owner, something in that vicinity. I hate the idea of sponsors buying the rights to fields. And you know what? I'll make an exception. Bring back Heinz Field, please, for the legacy. I just got to shout that out there. Lambeau Field is so much cooler than Paycor Stadium. Dolphins now have all their timeouts, trying to find something going here, and that is not helping their case. Malik Washington lost it in the lights. That is a bad, bad drop. Who's going to have a better game Thursday, Hendon Hooker or Trey Lance? I don't even think Hendon Hooker will see the football field. So I'm going to take Trey Lance. I can't wait to watch that game, though. Not going to lie. 2nd and 10 now. Once again, a loaded backfield for Tagovailoa. Jets rush 5 late, not getting home in time. Good tackle made, though, in the open field by Sauce Gardner. What he does so well for this Jets defense. Timeout taken by Miami. 45-6 to go in the opening 20 minutes. I could see the Dolphins and Jets splitting this year. I could understand that. I think they're two teams that kind of in the same area. I think the Jets have a little bit more potential, but Miami has that chemistry. We'll see. First things first, though, Tagovailoa got to convert a 3rd and 3 as he will find his tight end, Darren Waller. His first catch since coming out of retirement. Timeout taken by the Finns. Michael Carter right there with it. 40 seconds to go. Dolphins have 1 remaining. Bears are going to go 3-1 IRL. You think so? I could see them beating the Vikings. I don't think the Lions yet. I could see the Raiders and the Cowboys as a toss-up. I could see anywhere from 1-3 to 3-1, to be honest with you. See if the Jets going to bring some extra pressure here. It has been working out when they have thrown it their way. Have a linebacker coming late. Tagovailoa going deep once again. Separation, but not enough. Brandon Stevens gift wrapping Tyreek Hill. Second shot to the same place from Tagovailoa. Neither of which reached their destination. And let the rumors of Tagovailoa's weak arm reiterate themselves. Not a bad effort there, just a bit too short for the outstretched arms of Tyreek Hill. Tua back down the middle, finds him where he can get out in open space and run a bit. Although that is limited to just a couple of yards. 9-yard pickup forces the final Dolphin timeout to be called. Would have been picked in real life, probably. Was not a very good ball there. Cannot lie. Not gonna lie to you. Miami out of timeouts here in the waning moments of the opening half. Tagovailoa looking outside, not gonna get there though, and that might just end the half. 8-chan on the collection, and it is gonna be close. I think they have one more snap. Even still, another what are you doing moment. We'll see. They are going to get back out there for one more snap from the no huddle. And from an empty pocket, Tagovailoa steps up, climbs, and now throws away incomplete, which will take us to halftime. Very disappointed by that ideology from Madden, but you know what? If you're not used to it by now, that's how the game rolls. All right, don't forget to stick around. Got the live poll coming out to you guys momentarily. Do you like the Jets up 14, or do you like the Dolphins getting the football to begin half number 2? Been a very disastrous game, summarizing their season pretty well thus far for Miami. Week is weak. That is exactly what Geno did in the last play, though, against the Bears. Quarterbacks have been tending to make bad decisions in the late moments a lot this season. Dolphins get their return out to the 27. And here comes Tua Tagovailoa. Classic Tua being a check down merchant. I mean, hey, if I had those wide receivers, I'd do the same. Not gonna lie. Tua got a noodle arm. I think it's better than people expect it to be. In terms of NFL power, though, it is on the weaker half. No doubt there. Jets outgained the Dolphins by 124 yards in the opening half, although chipping away at it here is Waller on a 9-yard check down. You know what? Darren Waller was at one point a top 3 tight end when he was still with the Raiders, and even at his retirement, I thought he was in the top 10 still, if not the top 8. Still a very solid guy. You just got to wonder how conditioned he can still be coming back from retirement. Other NFL players that have done the same can argue it is no easy thing to do. Rob Gronkowski about the only one that has had succession in that field. Tagovailoa escapes a crowded pocket once again and will take plenty of yards across the 50. And he does what his brain surgeon advises him to do. Slide down, protect that helmet. What up, Mike Calvert? Next Bronco stream. You're going to love this news coming up at 9:30 Eastern Time tonight. We wrap up week 4. Should be a heck of a game there. 2 of the best offenses in football delivered one heck of a game last season in week 17. Bengals got the better end of that one. And the Broncos get their revenge. Tua steps right, fires left, and that is a check down that goes for absolutely none. Waller, though, collects his 3rd catch. What up, Noah Herron, after he left the Raiders? I forgot he even existed. He went to the Giants for a year. But again, I don't think he really did much there. Giants is kind of where you go to die. Not going to lie. Tagovailoa from the pistol. Direct handoff goes to H.N. He'll find just a yard. This Jets defense, though, needs their credit just as much. They picked off Mason Rudolph a couple times back in week 1 before the Aaron Rodgers news broke. And last year picked off Baker Mayfield twice inside the 5-yard line to win a game in dramatic fashion. Jets are feeling on top of the world after an upset win on the road last week. They will blitz an extra man as Tagovailoa going to step into this one, going deep one more time. And again, Brandon Stevens wins the battle. 3 for 3 on the 2 of the Tyreek testers. Rip Pulse an email, I guess? What happened? We're making a joke, or is that legit? On for the punts. Ryan Stonehouse, another decent punt out of the 14. All right, it's not legit. I did confirm. I don't even know. I don't know what that reference was. I haven't been reading chat. I just picked that out of a crowd. Not going to lie. Expect compilation of the top plays at the end of the season. I do have a couple like members-only videos. Well, I say a couple. I have one of every touchdown scored in week 1. But I'm going to try to get something like that to post maybe during the winter. We'll see. I'll be back with playoff simulations. Let me rephrase myself there. In January. Should be another terrific NFL postseason coming up as Breece Hall is going to collect 1 on the opening play of the Jets second half. Pretty good opening 20 from Justin Fields. Didn't turn it over. Found Josh Reynolds deep in the end zone to end the half as well. Brandon Stevens not good in Madden. Hey, they love him today. That's all I know. Hall picks up a single yard there. Fields going to try to find somebody else, and that is Josh Reynolds. Been his go-to guy the last couple of drives. MSG trivia question of the game. What Miami Dolphins receiver has with the most single-season receiving yards as a rookie? I'm going to take a shot here and just say Jarvis Landry, just because I don't know the answer. Fullback checks in here for the Jets. Fields, though, on 3rd and short, will check it down. Caught by Allen Lazard. It's a first down for New York. I actually don't know the answer. Oh, it probably is Waddle. Waddle did have a terrific season. Yeah, I don't remember. You might be correct. Tyreek still trying to find his home in Miami. Still a bit homesick of the Kansas City Chiefs. That offense is still rolling. Breece Hall takes his 17th carry, and you can see he's not feeling very good. Just get it over with. I don't know, man. Dolphin defense is looking okay. Again, though, they've been out there for so long. They're getting exhausted. Can they get off the field here? Neither team has forced a turnover yet in this young evening. Well, that start here nearly did. Almost picked off on an errant pass there. Fields was looking for Garrett Wilson. Never got to him. That Buckeye-to-Buckeye connection has been lacking a bit here. Never see a good playoff run in my lifetime. Yeah, man. Unfortunate. Fans are on their feet here inside of Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. 3rd and 9 pass goes up top, and Wilson hangs on through the contact. Ball to the 47-yard line. A-Rod in chat? I don't believe so. No, we're yet to see him here tonight. Might be lurking around waiting for an interception to be called. We'll see. Midway through the 3rd quarter. Fields from the shotgun. Dolphins rushing 4. Pass goes up top again. This time it's Mason Taylor. 2nd catch today for the rookie. Well, the AFC East right now, very interesting. Bills at 4-0, Patriots at 3-1. They are Sunday Night Football next week. You can't miss that game. And then the Jets have a step behind New England at 2-1. Looking to get there with a win today. Dolphins, though, only losing team in the AFC East, as up the middle, Breece Hall again, fortuitously pushed forward by this Dolphin defense. What up, Retro? Yeah, been a very, I wouldn't even say defensive game. Kind of bad offense, especially from the Dolphins, but we have seen worse. Fields is having a pretty clean day. Was that a jinx? We'll see. As he will hand off to Breece Hall once again, and why not feed the Breece? That is another 4-yard pickup. That was what, his 19th carry, I think? I'd say feed the breast, but it would probably be spelled feed the breast, and I'm not sure if I'm okay with that. Sounds very odd to begin with, though. Hall picks up 4 on his 19th carry already. Fields goes up top, open is Garrett Wilson as he breaks a tackle, and a late marker coming down to as he's out at the 20 and add extra yardage. Another late hit call. That is our 2nd one of week number 4. Kader Kohu, the guilty party. Yeah, not going to lie, even a score here would make this a 3-possession game. Dolphins are looking worse for wear again. Still haven't found the end zone. Jet defense and Jet offense are reflected off each other well. Field steps up, but he's sacked by Jordan Brooks. Loss of 9 as he is the lone shining star of this Dolphin football team today. As he jumps over Breece Hall right there. What a play from the former Seahawk again. Could be a nice little pickup. You never know. 2nd down and 19. I guess they could technically pick up the 1st down without the end zone. Why do that, though? 4-yard gain on a crosser. Alan Lazard again. Who was the first coach fired this season? Dable, McDaniel, Steichen, Taylor, or Canales? I don't think Steichen's in the hot seat yet. I don't think Taylor is either because of Burrow's injuries. I'd say McDaniel, I'll be honest. Dolphins hoping for a stop and maybe a turnover. On a 3rd and 15, Fields going to step up, take off, looking for the end zone. He'll slide 5 yards short. Still an 11-yard pickup there. And the Jets more than happy to take their field goal. And a 3-score lead. Dolphin defense, though, does their absolute best to bend but not break. That'll bring Mevis on for another chip shot field goal 22 yards away. It is up and good. Jets lead 20-3 in the 3rd quarter. That was a very long scoring drive as well. Taking a look at the live poll, 17 votes in, 65% in favor of the team with the lead and about to hand over possession. 19 people in here. Don't forget to like the video if you haven't yet already. And don't forget, we got the Broncos and Bengals coming up a couple minutes after the conclusion of this one. Should be an absolute banger compared to this. This is the appetizer. This is the water before the main course. We're getting a 5-course meal here in a couple of minutes. Return out to the 26-yard line. Dolphins staring 0-4 in the face. Can they find a way to find some offense? Gotta be honest, they gotta find Jalen Waddle more. Only one target. He made that terrific catch earlier. And other than that, it just has not looked good. Tried to find Tyreek Hill in the end zone 3 separate times, and Brandon Stevens answered the call every single one of them. Jet defense has been locking down every Dolphin receiver today. Even Darren Waller has been limited in his comeback game. Tagovailoa forces another incompletion. Man. I mean, to be fair, I don't think McDaniel was ready for the position to begin with. He was a history major in college. He had no ambitions to be anywhere near the NFL. His story's kind of funny, how he even got involved. 1:39 now to go. After the Tagovailoa throwaway, going to hand off to Achane. His longest run today goes for 9. And the clock is stopped. Achane holding his shoulder. No, it's Darren Waller. Oh, no, I thought it was Achane. I was incorrect. That is what happens when you retire. You might just go right back into retirement after that injury. Brutal beats for a Dolphin offense already struggling here this afternoon. Fullback Alec Ingle checks in on a 3rd and 1. As Tagovailoa off the bootleg, sets his feet, fires this one toward the 50, swatted away by Sauce. And the boo birds start to come out at Hard Rock Stadium. And $10 tells you they pumped this one away. I love the hair through the visor. It's a good look. It's a new trend, actually. It's called a ghost hat. Ryan Stonehouse on for another Miami Dolphin punt. And he's been pretty good today, which is not something Dolphin fans want to hear. That is a terrific punt. Maybe too good. Out at the back of the end zone. 65-yard punt. Justin Fields having himself another terrific day. 17 of 20. 227 passing yards and a touchdown. Picking up where he left off last week. Actually had a pretty miserable week last week. Fumbled the football, almost fumbled the game away. And I believe he fired an interception as well at the end of the second quarter. So, good to have him off of the turnovers. Jets do a lot better when he hangs onto the football. Good protection here as he steps up, but he's sacked anyway. 4-yard loss there. That is Benito Jones, the big fella, with the sack. Now let's take a look at the Jets' 2025 schedule. I have not really taken a look at this since the Dolphins. They have the Cowboys next week back at East Rutherford, and the Broncos in Week 6 for an international game. That should be another great battle between two offenses that have been high-powered so far this season. 2nd and 14 here for Fields. Finds the crosser. Out in open space. Josh Reynolds spins to nowhere. He'll pick up 8 though. Dolphins are 0-3. I do hate to be the bearer of bad news, but they are the only team not to win a game in my simulation season. CR0, it could always be worse. You could be a Dolphins fan this year, although his Raiders have won one game in their last 10 in my Sims total. Now or never for this Dolphin defense. They need a stop here. And on a screen pass, that is exactly what they will get. Jalen Phillips there makes a pretty good play. Loss of 1 and a punt up forth for Austin McNamara, which will take place in the 4th quarter. All Jets all game long as they lead 20-3 at the end of 3 over the Miami Dolphins. Diehard Browns fan, yeah. It is a burden I bear with pride. And oftentimes, massive disappointment. But it comes with the treaty. It happens. 4th quarter underway. Austin McNamara on for the punt. Dolphins going to play this safe and make sure there is no fake involved. Fair catch called for at the 34. Tua needs 17 points in the 4th quarter and a flawless 10 minutes from his defense. Odds of that happening, slim to none. But you never know with how 4th quarters go in Madden. Career year coming for Justin Fields. Can he just put together one full season? We'll see. 4th quarter underway. Dolphins begin from their own 34. Pressure coming up the middle. Picked up for just long enough for the pass to go right back to Darren Waller. Apparently back from injury. And no, actually, this is Farrell Brown. 85, not 86 on the reception. Dolphins, though, across the 50. They don't care who's catching the football. It could be you or me for all they care. They are back into the Jet half of the field. Linebackers deep in the box. Now they drop back in coverage. Tua steps and fires off the helmet of the big man up the middle, Derek Anati. It's Pharaoh Brown, I think, right? Pharaoh Brown? Yeah, he used to play... Yes, he used to play for the Browns, actually. 2nd and 10 for Miami. Tagovailoa goes outside. That pass is caught by Washington. It's a first down. Gain of 10. Any Browns rookies looking impressive yet? Gonna be honest, I have not paid any attention to training camp. Been a bit busy for one, but I don't know. I'm just not that interested in any of our rookies this season, I can't lie. Like, obviously I'm interested in Shooter, but his time is not coming yet. I understand that. Tagovailoa collects a high snap, goes outside. Pass caught from the backfield. This is the backup back, Jalen Wright, with his first touch of the football. Yeah, I'm going to take a look probably in the preseason. That's when I lock in. I'll be in person for Browns-Rams preseason week 2. So I'll get a pretty good taste then. Keeping my tradition since 2019 with the 2020 hiatus of going to a preseason game every year. Fins now up to the Jet 33. Tagovailoa back downfield. This time finds somebody inside the 10. Malik Washington once again. 1st and goal. Danny Stutzman for the Saints. Also, what a cool name. I love that. I do enjoy that name quite a bit. Saints rookie should be interesting here. 1st and goal for the first time today for this Dolphin offense. They waited nearly 32 and a half minutes to get here. Outside pass is hauled in. Pharaoh Brown again gets another touch of the football. Still no Darren Waller. It is timetable to return unknown, but unlikely based on the circumstances. Luther Burden still has practice. The level has still been limited. Interesting. That is weird. Devon A. Chin checking back in here on a 2nd down and goal. See if the football goes into his chest. And it will on the handoff up the middle into the end zone. Dolphins finally have a touchdown. 7:10 to go in the 4th. Took way too long, but it did happen. Bonus trivia. What franchise has the most current NFL head coaches who were previous assistants with the franchise? Mike McDaniels was one of those assistants. Oh, it has to be the Browns. Has to be. Extra point coming up for Jason Sanders. It is up and good. Lead cut back down to 10. Because Kyle Shanahan and Mike McDaniel were on the Browns coaching staff in the Johnny Manziel era. Fun fact for you guys. That was certainly fun. Plus we had Nick Saban all the way back when. Who else has been a coordinator that went to be a head coach somewhere else? I wonder. I don't know. Is it? It's probably. It could be Washington. I could see that. I'm just throwing that out because I feel like the Browns have had a lot in recent history, but it's probably a fair shout. Return here for the Jets as they try to put this game away with their offense. A great return from their special teams out to the 36-yard line. I really don't know who it is. Saban was the coach of the Dolphins before, true. But he was an assistant in the Bill Belichick offense with the Browns. Fun fact, not even the greatest head coach in the modern football era could save that team. Washington, okay, yeah. No, that's a fair shout. That makes sense. Jets try to put this game away with a touchdown drive here. Justin Fields sets the backup Jeremy Ruckert in motion and hands off to Hall up the middle. Dolphins were readily equipped that time. Brees Hall's 20th carry goes for 3. Current head coach. Wait, I might have read that question backwards. Oh, yes, I did. That's why. Okay. Fields going to hand off to Hall, carry number 21. It's another beauty. 8 yards and a first down. Averaging 5 a carry. Once again, I thought it was the other way around. I thought it was which NFL team had the most assistants become head coaches. But it was which NFL team had most, head coaches that were assistants of former teams. So that makes sense. Dan Quinn, Ron Rivera, etc. Precious time is escaping Miami as Hall will escape the backfield, high step his way downfield inside the 35 and the 30 with a stiff arm out of bounds as well. hard to stop in the open field. More accurate, Justin Fields, it just might be. That is definitely game, if I had to say so myself. Fields back to it from the 30. Breece Hall being fed well here. No gain that time. Zach Sealer finally has his name called for the first time today. Zach Sealer, as they call him, down in Miami. Fins again just could not force the turnover. That would have flipped the game on its head. What up, Trex? Nearing the midway point now of the fourth quarter. Justin Fields trying to fire the football first time on this drive, and he will wind up finding out why. They should have just ran the football. Mason Taylor, the intended target, winds up incomplete. By the way, the Jets do not have a very good kicker. Let me take a look. They no longer have Andres Carlson. Harrison Mevis is now their kicker. Playing the UFL with the Birmingham Stallions, so more representation from a non-affiliate league. There's Hall on the outside carry, picks up a yard. And even with the kick going in here, it's still a two-score game. So not the end of the world, but a miss also means good field position for the Dolphins. We'll see. Harrison Mevis is on for a 46-yard attempt from the right hash. He's 2 for 2, and he will make himself 3 for 3. Well, maybe he is pretty good. 23-year-old kicker. He is known as Thicker Kicker. Weighs 243 pounds at 5'11". For reference, I weigh about 150 pounds soaking wet at the same height. That's intimidating. Now, he's got the leg a lot better than Tyler Loop, I'll tell you that much. Might have to inform NFL roster guru about that. Could be more accurate, though. Dolphins on the return. Now they need 2 touchdowns to have any lingering hope. 4:38 to go. They have all 3 of their timeouts, so a quick score. And the intrigue is still right there in front of us. Little update on the live poll. Now that we have 18 votes in, 67% on the Jets. Don't forget to get your votes in before the poll closes here. Probably at the end of this possession. Miami needs a touchdown on this drive and the next, and they begin with a Malik Washington slant. That picks up 4. Yeah, you can't really afford to have any of that. Harrison Mevis could be a kicker steal in fantasy. I agree. I'm going to start the trend of taking UFL kickers very early in, like, the kicker. You know what? Like, that's my starting kicker. Just because you told me so, I'll draft him. Why not? Washington picks up 4. Been a pretty good glue guy here today for Miami. Pass outside, caught. And that is a gain of 5. And Darren Waller is back. Question him even returning to this game. Not sure it's even worth it at this point, but hey, I guess they need points. The Titans had that crazy Monday Night Football comeback a couple of years ago on the Dolphins. Set back their season pretty influentially. Tagovailoa sticks in there and finds Waller out at the 49. Clock is stopped as well. Yeah, exactly. With Aubrey being the best kicker, it's a good trend to follow. Not gonna lie. I mean, if you're going from the UFL to the NFL, you have to be pretty good. Like, you already have to prove yourself on a semi-professional level. I like it. Fins now from their own logo. Trying to find the end zone 49 yards away. Another check down caught. Darren Waller underneath has been the check down merchant for Tua Tagovailoa. What are our thoughts on Happy Gilmore 2? I think it was amazing. I actually, ironically, watched that today. Roughly 10 hours ago. I thought it was terrific, man. I loved it. Like, being born in 05, I got all the references. It was great. It was terrific. Jalen Waddle is in motion. Still no targets for him since the one-handed catch. That might not change as Tyreek Hill finds the end zone. And this game is far from over. Finally, Tagovailoa finds the speedster out in space as he gets away from Brandon Stevens. It took all game, but it happened. Hey, it ain't over till it's over. I'm just saying. Yeah, I love that movie. It was great. People are mad about the Maxi Golf thing. It was a poke at live. that whole both sides of golf. But, being a casual golf fan, as well as a, Adam Sandler fan, Happy Gilmore 1 enthusiast, and, seeing all the people there, all the characters that are playing, it was very refreshing. It's very rare that a sequel has that much effort put into it as this one did. I thought they did a terrific job, though, if I got to be honest with you. Now, obviously, it doesn't have the rewatchability of the first one, but sequels aren't meant to. But it's cool. It's a lot easier to take an already proven kicker than to risk a draft pick on a rookie one. That is true. But again, if you're you can pick up free agency kickers. It's not that deep. Jets on the return as their lead is suddenly vanished. Down to just 6. Dolphins again, they hang in there. The Scheffler was my favorite part, 100%. That Dolphins-Ravens comeback, that fed families that week. Too bad the Browns lost in heartbreaking fashion that same day. Miami fans are starting to believe again. Back within a score for the first time in a long time. Inside pass caught by Reynolds. He had to dive through some traffic to get there. But he secures a 3-yard gain, and the clock ticks even more importantly. That was big. Needed that one. 5 seconds on the play clock. Justin Fields going to take it all the way down to 2. Handoff goes outside to Breece Hall. First down is secure. And that'll take us to the 2-minute warning. It's the Jets 23, the Dolphins 17. And a very big couple of plays coming up here. Dolphins trying to get the football back into the hands of Tua Tagovailoa. Can they find their defensive stance? Breece is having a very good game. Not going to lie. The more they feed him, the better he has gotten here in the second half of action. That trend will continue up the middle. That's the pickup of 5. Timeout Miami. Dolphins hanging on to some lingering hope here late. Can they just get the job done? I hope they get the ball back. We have had this situation too many times where they don't get a chance. I want to see it happen. I'm here for the drama. Dolphins take their first time out. Down to 2 now. Hand off to Hall, another first down. That might just put this game to rest. 157 rushing yards on 27 carries. Timeout number 2 taken by Miami. Jets are around field goal range. And it's looking like a 2% chance of victory at this point. Yeah, not looking too hot. That's for sure. Might as well guess run up the middle. If you're the Dolphin defense, another handoff goes to Hall. Adding to his yardage. That's a 2-yard gain. Dolphins take their final time out. Actually got to make sure that game is in Cincinnati. Let me take a look. Broncos versus Bengals, week 4. And no, I'm wrong. It's in Denver. I don't know why I thought it was in Cincy. So the altitude could play a factor in the lungs of Joe Burrow. We'll see. Should be an electric matchup. Last time the Broncos were on Monday night. That shootout against the Browns as a 4-yard gain there for Hall. Sets up a 3rd and 4. I mean, yeah, you can't blame the defense for being tired today. Going to end the live poll here. 20 votes, 65% in favor of the Jets today. First down here, going to end the game. A stop, and the Dolphins have a very slight chance at hope. Hall gets the handoff up the middle. Another first down. 30 carries, 168 yards, and this game is over. What a day for Breece Hall. Yeah, disappointing ending. Dolphins just could not, again, get that turnover to make the difference, and their offense started out far too slow. Fields on the kneel now, and that should be that. The Jets get the Week 4 victory. See if they'll take one more. Don't forget, 9:30, 25 minutes from now, we will begin the Bengals at Broncos. Zach Wilson sighting. Revenge game doesn't go according to plan for the backup. Unfortunate for him. Jets get the win in Miami, 23-17. They improve to 3-1, and the Dolphins fall to 0-4. AFC East is stacked right now. 3-1 Jets, 3-1 Patriots, 4-0 Bills. Going to be an absolute dogfight, especially if New England gets the better of the Buffalo Bills. It's going to be a three-way tie at 4-1 if the Jets also win next week. Those were your player stats right there, and we are going to get straight into the next game as soon as possible. Quick turnaround. Hope to see you guys there. Appreciate you tuning in.